basic flow of Gradle. Like we have added the Java plugin for the task, and we compiled, and that plugin has the plugin. What it has done? What this Java plugin has done? It has compiled the class and built the jar. And after that, we added manifest, which actually executed the program by invoking the main class. All right. Now this is a simple program. But what we need to write a program that is dependent on libraries, on external libraries. Like suppose if you need to write a program with JDBC, we need to add JDBC related libraries. If you need to add unit testing like JUnit or Mockito, we should add JUnit. Just like in Maven, how we add dependencies, right? The same thing here also. Okay. So how we add the dependencies, the same thing here also. So now we'll take one simple program. I already have that program. Or we'll take one simple program and then we'll see it. Okay. Okay. So what we will do is, we can take any program. If you want to add, say, if you want to write a program that connects to database. See, program is not a matter. You know how to write a program connected to database. You know how to write a program connected to unit test in Mockit and all. Program doesn't matter, but how we'll add the dependencies is a matter. So for that, what I'll do is, here I'll say dependencies. Just like how we add dependency in pom.xml. Here I'll say dependencies. Suppose I want to add some JUnit related. What I'll do is I'll just say test implementation group. I'll tell you what is this group : and all this will be coming from Maven Center, Maven repositories. Okay, so here I'll say repositories. I'll say Maven Center. So the repositories, the libraries will be part of Maven Central. Okay, here we'll add the dependencies, and I'll tell you what is this test implementation group. Here we'll say, suppose I want to add related to JUnit. So I have to go from, I have to use JUnit library. JUnit Maven dependency. I can give this, right? So JUnit, the group name is JUnit. See, in Maven, we'll copy this dependency like this. Remember, but here we'll do, the syntax will be different. So I'll say group. Here I'll say JUnit. Comma name. Name is the artifact ID. Again, it is JUnit. Next version. And this is the version. We'll specify like this. And the scope, we are giving test here in the like this. In place of this, we'll say here test implementation like this. That means this library, I told in when I told Maven, we have different scopes like compile scope, runtime scope. Compile scope is used only during the compilation. The default is compile scope during the compilation and runtime. During compilation and running of the runtimes are used only during the runtime. Test scopes are used only during the testing. The libraries will be included only during the testing. Remember, I told this in the Maven scopes. Remember that? In Maven scopes, I told you, right? Maven dependency scopes. Remember? I told that actually. See, compile, provided. Remember? How many of you have these notes? I uploaded this in classroom notes also. How many of you have studied this? No responses from anyone. Hope you understood, right? This one, provided, compile. When I explained you Maven, right? Yeah, I got response from Abhinash. Yeah. So what about others? Right? Yeah, the same type of scopes. The same type of scopes will be available in Gradle also, like this. So when I'll explain you what is this. Okay. Now that means this library. See, we'll take this from Maven Central. So we'll take this from Maven Central and include these dependencies. All right. Like that, actually, I'll tell you what are these. Just like in Maven, we have compiled dependencies like that. In Gradle also we have like this. So we have like this. Let me take like this. So we have class path for compilation. And then we have class path for runtime. Class path. Class path for runtime. So what do you mean by this is, so when I say class path for compilation, we'll have like this. We can have compile only. I'll tell you what is this, huh? Implementation. Implementation. Next, runtime. Runtime only. Next, test compile only. Next, test implementation. Next, test runtime. Okay. So now what will happen is I'll say compile class path, and this will be applicable to this. And then class path for runtime. Runtime only. Then I'll explain this, okay? Then I'll say test compile only. Next, implementation. Next, compile class path for runtime. Seems the diagram looks like a bit complex, right? But if I explain it, will be easy for you. Okay. I'll tell you very simple way. Suppose if I put like this is test implementation. I'll say I'll take one more library, compile only. Compile only. And here I'll say some library. Let us take some library. Here I'll say group. It is same as our Maven dependencies. Suppose I'll add like this. Same thing I'll add here. Compile only. I'll add a library here. Let me take a Spring Core library. Or I'll add this one. Compile only. I'll say group as Java x.servlet, comma name as servlet API, version as 3.0.1. Okay, this is compile only. Then what I'll do is, now I'll say implementation. I'll say group as, I will use this one. Let me use this MySQL driver Maven. So this I'll give like this. I'll explain you. So this group has MySQL. Next, name as MySQL connector Java. Next is version as 8.0.3.30. This one. Okay. Then we'll have one more thing, runtime. Okay, group. I'll tell you this runtime. If you take, yeah, general, I can use this for runtime. So this I can use for runtime. Okay, and implementation, I'll tell implementation. It will be used for both compilation and runtime. I can say group. Let me add some Spring if I want to add some I'm adding like this. Something like Apache common util. In Apache common utils, we have some libraries. Maven. I'll say like this. I'm just giving this an example. Okay. Next name as common slang tree. Next version as 3.12. Okay. All right. What we have done now till now, we have put test implementation, compile only, next runtime only, and implementation. I'll tell you what is this actually. These are similar to your Maven dependency scopes only. If you recall the Maven dependency scopes, when I say compile, the default scope is compile. The dependencies in the compile scope will be used only for building, will be used for building, testing, and running the project. Okay. When I say provided, it will be used only for compilation. Okay. That means whatever I added the libraries during the compilation is useful. That means during the compilation, Java C. But during running, these libraries will be used from the server runtime environment. We don't need this servlet library during the running because your application is going to use the library that is coming from your Tomcat server or some other web server. Okay. So like that, that means when I include the dependency, the library will be applicable in which phase. That is the meaning of scope, right? That is the meaning of scope. What is the scope? So what is the dependency scope we studied in Maven? When we include the dependency in Maven, what is a dependency? It's nothing but the library, right? We are importing the library. Dependency is nothing but library only, right? Library. When we include dependency in Maven, the dependency in Maven, so the scope will determine the dependency to be used in which phase during the build of the project. Which phase of the project, we can say. So default scope is compile. So when I say default scope is compile, that means the library is used during the compilation. That means when the project is getting compiled, it will use that library, the classes that are present in this library. And so the program gets compiled. Suppose if I use Spring related dependency, whatever the packages and classes that you use in the program for Spring related things, so those get compiled by using this library, by using this dependency. So during the compilation, running of the project, and testing of the project. Okay, this is the default scope. In scope is provided means, when I say scope is provided in Maven, the library is used only during the runtime, only during the compilation, and not during runtime, not during running. That means when the project is getting running, it will not use this library. Only during compilation it will use. For example, the servlet related libraries. Servlet related libraries are used only during compilation of your project, because in your program you're using servlet libraries like import javax.servlet.http.star. Those libraries, those packages and classes will get compiled with this library. But during the running of the program, it will use the servlet libraries from Tomcat server or any web server. So that is what this dependency is. And if you say testing, scope for testing in Maven, we also have this one also, right? Runtime test scope. When I say scope test means, so the dependencies or libraries are used only during testing of the testing and compilation and testing of the project. Similar to Maven scopes, these are Maven dependency scopes. Similar to that, we have Gradle dependency scopes. These are Gradle dependency scopes. So when I say compile class path for compilation means this is during compilation phase. When I say class path for runtime is during the runtime phase. Okay. Now, and these are the different scopes of Gradle. And these are the different scopes of Gradle. Now, when I say compile only means, now I'll put like this, compile only. Compile only means this library will be used in Gradle so I'll say that is compile only means this will be used only during the compilation. Okay. And when I say implementation means this will be used. If you see the diagram, you will understand. Compile only means, see this is only used during this part only. only for compilation. When I say implementation means, it will be used during compilation and also runtime also. That means you see that arrow is coming here and also that arrow is going here also. Okay. So when I say compilation, implement, this will be used. I mean, the dependency will be used or library in the program compilation. The dependency or library will be used during program compilation and running also. And when I say runtime only, so this dependency or library will be used only during running, during program run. So that means like this. So runtime only during program run. Okay. Similarly, we'll have for test cases also, for testing also. So what will be happening for test cases? Just one. For test case also, when I say test compile only, test compile only, will be used only during compiling of unit test case. And when I say test implementation, this dependent library will be used during compiling of unit test case and running of unit test case. And when I say test runtime only, this dependency or library will be used only during running of unit test case. Or unit test, not case, unit test code. So that's why if you see the arrow here, for test compile only during the compilation. That's why this arrow is coming. For test implementation, it is for both compilation, this arrow, and also this also. And for test runtime only this part. So that's why if you see here, when I say test implementation means this JUnit library will be used during the compilation of the unit test code and running of unit test code. Where will specify that unit test code? In source SRC test Java. And the main code will be specified in SRC main Java, that folder. When I say compile only, this will be used only during the compilation only. This runtime, it will pick up from the Tomcat server libraries. When I say implementation, this will be used in both during the compilation and running also, this library, whatever the libraries that you specify in common slang. And runtime only, MySQL dependency we need only during the running of the project. We don't need during the compilation. Because we'll say when we need this MySQL, we will use class.forName we'll use that library, right? Class dot for name of com dot mysql dot driver dot. Remember that that class dot for name will be included, will be executed only during the running one. It doesn't need during compiling. So that is the dependencies like this. Now everyone got clear? It is same to Maven dependencies. And yeah, Abhinash asked, what is the difference? I told actually, see, it is as if actually that you have choice to choose whether between Maven or Gradle. For example, I told you here the main differences. So mainly, when I say Gradle, mainly the differences will come. Alternative to Maven is Gradle. In Gradle, we can write the custom plugins easily. Performance of Gradle build is faster than Maven build. Okay. So Maven build is specified through pom.xml and Gradle with less lines of code in Groovy, this kind of language. So when you compare the pom.xml and this one, you see, this has a different way of syntax and this is in a Groovy based script. So that is your choice actually. So where if you are still accustomed with Maven, you can go with Maven. But if you want to explore on Gradle and do this, you can go with Gradle. So like some differences, like so performance is a bit faster in Gradle and Gradle way of syntax. This is a Groovy base of syntax. XML, if you take XML, is a very vast. I mean, it occupies more lines of code. Whereas in Gradle, you'll have Groovy kind of syntax like this. That's what. Any doubts here till now? Any doubts, questions? Okay. See, I'm planning like this actually. You tell me if you are okay with this. I think only few, okay, 52 people are there. Generally, 60 people will be coming. Ant is a very old tool actually. And after that, Maven has come. See, now only these are left. Okay, these are completed. Only these are left actually. What I'm thinking is, see, you tell me these 5 tools I'm planning to complete in one day. I'm planning to take Saturday because other work weekdays are, I think you also will be having offices and all that, right? Okay. So these are all in one day actually. This is from, I'm planning to take between 7:30 to 12. How many of you are fine? From 7:30 to 12. I'm planning to take on Saturday. Next Saturday. (7:30 to 12). I'm planning to cover all these actually. Jira, Datadog, CloudWatch, no, tomorrow actually I did not plan. Tomorrow I have to. I'm going to my native place tomorrow. So 7:30 a.m. to 12. In between I'll give one break or two breaks. Sir, 12. In between I'll give actually some one or two breaks. Okay. So next Saturday I'm planning actually to complete this. Or can we have like this?
Okay, sir. No problem. We'll be attending.
That's what. See, now only 4 tools are there. Instead of going one by one on Thursday, Friday, again next Thursday, Friday, like that. I'm planning to close all these by next week actually. Between 7:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. next Saturday.
Yes, sir. Anyway, weekend, no, we will plan, sir. No problem.
So can we make
7:30 a.m. to 12
next
p.m.
Sunday? Sir, can you make it on next Sunday? Because I have another classes also. Like I'm attending Angular at 9 a.m.
Okay, next is Sunday. Is this fine for everyone?
Okay, sir. No issues.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay, next is Sunday.
Sir, next Thursday class is not there, sir.
Not there. I'll take. Anyhow, we completed till 11. Okay. This 11.
Yes.
So only these are left actually. So these I'll take at a one shot at next Sunday. All these between 7:30 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So next class is on Sunday.
Yeah, next class is on Sunday.
Okay, sir.
I'll close this by next week. On Sunday, 7:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. Okay, just one or two breaks I'll give. Might be we can extend to 12:30 p.m. also. 5 hours. So 5 hours I'll take all this Jira, Datadog, CloudWatch. I'll close this. All right, right?
Yes, sir. And if possible,
Yes.
one day for resume preparation also, sir, like Sprint and these tools. The same day only.
Okay, I'll cover that.
Thank you, sir.
So we're left with these tools, 5 tools we left. So I can cover all this. Okay, so now how you do choose between Gradle and Maven is your choice. So Gradle performance is bit faster when compared to Maven. Gradle syntax is in Groovy. That build.xml, we build a file, and here it is in XML. So people who are accustomed with Gradle can go with Gradle or with Maven. Those who know both actually can switch between Gradle and Maven in different projects. Okay. So in these 5 tools also very important, I'll tell you. Jira is very, you should know Jira, Datadog or CloudWatch. How many of you know Datadog? Okay, I'll tell you this, what is Datadog, and we'll see. We have seen ELK, right? Remember in this tool ELK, right? Datadog and ELK are just like Maven and Gradle, how they are alternatives. ELK and Datadog are alternatives. Just like how Gradle and Maven are alternatives, ELK and Datadog are alternatives. Okay. So next Sunday we'll have a class between 7:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. I'll inform management also. We'll have the class. We'll ask the bridge to open between 7:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Next Sunday, 5 hours I'll complete this. And Chef is not that much important, yeah, because already we studied Dockers. Docker. Okay. So generally all the containerization will go through Docker. Chef is mainly a DevOps tool. Okay. I can give overview on that. All right. Any questions till now? You have covering these tools. Till now we studied 11 tools. Though, yeah, actually, it has taken. See, if I would have, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those 3 classes were not there, right? Otherwise, so we could have completed by now these tools. Because of those 3 days, weekly 3 days, somehow it got delayed actually. So any doubts in this? Yeah, I'll check with the management, and might be I will ask management to send you all the new link. If it is, or else we'll use the same link. I'll inform management today only. The admin, like next Sunday, I'll close this 7:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. These 5 tools. Okay, any questions till now? Otherwise, we are good. Yeah. So any new link also we'll update in the Google Classroom. Yeah, that is good idea. Yes. Okay. I'll inform them. And okay, don't miss, because 5 hours class I'm going to take, completing all this. So 7:30 a.m. to next Sunday we'll meet actually. So next Sunday 7:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. we'll cover all this. So just note it down. If you miss this class, you'll miss these 5 tools actually. 5 hours class you'll miss. Okay, I'll cover. Okay, so that
Okay,
next
sir.
week we'll close this subject actually. So you can also start preparing for your other courses or interviews, or you can start implementing these tools in your work-related activities. So that's why I thought of covering. Otherwise, what will happen is again Jira, Datadog next week. Again this will go for again two more weeks actually. 5 hours means it will go for 2 more weeks for us. So I'm planning to complete this in next week. Sunday also you have office actually. See, this is on Sunday, right?
No, sir. No office on Sundays. Only Monday to Friday.
Oh, that's what. This is on next Sunday actually.
Yeah, yeah. No problem, sir. We are ready. Like,
Okay,
yeah.
sure. Okay then. Okay, see you on next Sunday. Okay. So that's what I was thinking. Yesterday only I planned this. I did not plan earlier. I was thinking, see, by going for Thursday, see, we are left with only 5 tools, right? Why to again drag this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, next Thursday? Again, it will go for 2 to 3 weeks actually. I thought if I can take one day and close all these, because we can cover these actually 5 days, these tools. What are the important tools? We covered all the important tools actually. All the important tools we covered actually. Okay. So I thought actually if I can close this in next week, you can also be prepared for the next courses, or you can start preparing for interviews, or you can start. So that's what I was thinking. So that's why I planned yesterday only this one. I did not had planned this earlier actually. Just yesterday night only I planned this actually. Okay. Tomorrow actually tomorrow I am going to my native place. So that's why tomorrow it will not be difficult. Actually, that's what yesterday night only I planned this. Otherwise, last week I would have planned it would have been good. So tomorrow only, so that's why I thought next week I'll close this actually. Yeah, I'll tell you that. Okay, in this class only I'll tell you that the resume preparation is interview questions. And remember, whatever the important tools that are there, we covered all actually. Very important tools. Might be in these 5 tools, Jira tool might be one important tool, but the rest we can have. Okay, I'll tell them. Okay, then. Thank you all. See you on next class Sunday. I'll inform the management accordingly. Okay, and then we'll see. Okay, please don't miss this class. Okay, Sunday. All right then.